Himalayas. Yesterday I explained series of rivers originated from the Tibetan plateau. This is the, you can say, this is the Tibetan plateau. Before the upliftment of Himalayan system, rivers were originating from the Tibetan plateau and draining the discharge in which sea? What is the name of this sea? Tethys Sea. So this is the Indian plate, and this is like these rivers were descending down. Then this upliftment started taking place. When the upliftment started taking place, I'm just repeating again. So this is the one. After upliftment, you can say upliftment was registered here. This is one of the cross section. This is the river. Means yesterday I explained with a simple graphical composition. Suppose this is a river here. This is a one river is flowing. Suppose this landmass uplifted. The river maintained its course by downward cutting on the same base level. So then further upliftment, river maintained the same course. This area also uplifted, this mass also uplifted, but this mass is removed by the river through the eroding agents. So what are the fluvial eroding agents? How material is transported? It is transported through suspension, through saltation, through attrition, through abrasion. It rub it, it break it. So you know the agents of erosion, how they erode, how they break up the rock. If it is if I discuss that topic, it will take lot of time. So this type of passages, though Himalayan system looks like this, river maintained its passages, so it uplifted. So this mass is taller than the this uplifted land mass is called Himalayan system, is much taller than the Tibetan plateau. But these rivers maintained their course. This area is uplifted, this area is uplifted. So this is uplifted. This central part remained on the same level, base level, and river maintained its passage. So these rivers provide passes to cross over this side and that side. So these are the passes, some of the passes. And such rivers are known as antecedent rivers. Yesterday I said antecedent rivers. Can you name some antecedent rivers? Brahmaputra, Indus, Satluj, Kosi, Gandak. These are the rivers, 5 major rivers of Himalayas, India, crossing the Himalayas, originated from the Tibetan plateau. Though Tibetan plateau is the, you can say, source of water to entire East and Southeast and South Asia, you can see how many these important rivers are coming to India. They all originate from Tibetan plateau. Apart from that, Huangho River, Yangtze River, Sikyang River, Ji River, Mekong River, Menam River, Chao Phraya River, Salween River, Irrawaddy River, they all originate from the Tibetan plateau. They give life to the entire Southeast and East Asia. So Tibetan plateau, the elevated tableland, is the source of water to the large part of the world. Now, while discussing the passes yesterday, I gave you a list of some of the important passes of Jammu and Kashmir. Quickly, I'll give you one review here. Suppose this is the Greater Himalaya. This is GH. GH means Greater Himalaya. And this is beyond Greater Himalaya, it is the LH, Ladakh range. Ladakh range, and beyond this is Pir Panjal. So this side of this is Sivalik then, and this is Jammu here. Jammu. When we cross Jammu, we move up and cross the Pir Panjal through a tunnel called, there is a tunnel, Jawahar Tunnel. Beyond Jawahar Tunnel, once we enter to the Ramban and enter to the valley, and here it is the Srinagar. And this is Leh city, Leh, Leh city. While going from Srinagar to Leh, we have to cross Greater Himalaya. So it provides pass here. This pass is called Zojila Pass. Zozi, Z-O-Z-I, Zojila Pass. So going from Srinagar to Leh, we cross Zojila, and it is located in Kargil district. And from Srinagar, there is a place here in Pakistan occupied Kashmir called Gilgit. Gilgit. You must be knowing some important cities in Pakistan occupied Kashmir. Though it is the territory of India, but illegally occupied by Pakistan. Gilgit, Hunja, Skardu, Muzaffarabad, these are the important cities. So going from Srinagar to Gilgit, also we cross one pass. Though historically it was very important pass, but since it is taken over by the Pakistan, so this route is closed. This is again very important. We cross again Greater Himalaya. Just before here we have this is NP. NP means Nanga Parbat. So Nanga Parbat is here, and we move from this. What is the name of this pass? Zojila is this. This is Zojila. Burjil Pass. This is called Burjil. So sometimes students used to get confused where this pass goes, from which route. And the world's highest motorable road is located in Ladakh range. So we have large part of India is located in beyond Himalayas, Trans-Himalayas, beyond Jaskar range, beyond Ladakh range also we have large part of India is located. So you must be knowing one region, Nubra Valley, Nubra region. Nubra is a river. Nubra is a tributary of Indus river. Later Nubra river joined Indus, and Indus moves like this. And this is Nubra. This is Nubra river, this is Indus river. So Indus moves like this. Indus comes from lake. Which lake? Not exactly Mansarovar, close to Mansarovar, but we used to say it is from Mansarovar. From Mansarovar, it passes through which fault line is this? What is the name of this fault line or this rupture zone where Indus river passes? ITSZ. Which fault line is tectonically most active fault line? MCT. So central part of the Greater Himalaya region is tectonically very active region. You can correlate the tectonic activities and the mobility in MCT region. So this is one. While going from Leh to Nubra region, Nubra is cold desert. And in desert, one of the common animal used to found in desert, which animal? Camel. There is a camel found in this particular region. What is the name of that camel? Bactrian camel. I think I explained earlier. Bactrian camel is basically, this is, suppose this is the camel here. This is double hump. You can say double hump camel. This is called Bactrian camel. This camel found in one hump is here and one hump is here. In India, if you go to Jaisalmer or in Bikaner, yesterday was now in this week, the first week of January, Bikaner festival is there. They celebrate the camel festival. We have single hump camel, difficult to ride it. But here double hump, it is easy to ride it. It's like armchair. So this is very prominent. So double hump found in the cold desert and single hump found in the tropical desert. So in Rajasthan we have the single hump, and in Ladakh we have the double hump camel. Why Bactrian term came here? Because most of the names in the world, you can see Africa, Libya, Arab, or the name India, Persia, or Europe, all these names were given by because world was explored by the Greeks, Herodotus, Hecataeus, Anaximander, Pliny, the great historian, Strabo, Ptolemy, these great Greek geographers. Herodotus coined most of the regions in the world, Greek said the entire area beyond Caspian Sea. Beyond Caspian, entire area is known as, it's a cold desert and it is known as Bactrian region. So that's why the camel found in that Bactrian region is India. The India name India was coined by the Greek people. Because the first map of the world constructed by Ptolemy on conical projection, and that projection is known as modified conical projection known as Imago Mundi. It was in 1st century BC. The first map with scientific cartographic techniques it was constructed. India was mentioned in that. The Indies, they mentioned Indies. So it means India the name was given by the Greek people. So in all the names were given by Greeks. So Bactria region, Bactria is a region, the area beyond Caspian Sea, the cold region. So this is north of east of Caspian. So all the camel found here in this region are the Bactrian camel. So this is one. So there is, to go from this region to this region, there is a road here. Then we cross here. This is one of the highest motorable road in the world, 18,000 feet. And it is one of the toughest road in the world. Though I traveled almost in every terrain in the world, but I found most scary road over here. It's all the time snow is there, tire are always prone to get slipped, and it is very vertical cliff and deep and no protection, no vegetation, all barren. If you see on the side of the road चल रहे हैं, अगर आपने side पे देख लिया तो आप drive नहीं कर पाएंगे, सिर्फ road पे ही देखो और कहीं देखने की जरूरत नहीं. So it is so tough. मुझे भी डर लगा था यहाँ जाने में. So this highest motorable road is called Khardungla. Khardungla. So this is Khardungla. If you go to Nubra Valley, so this pass is called Khardungla. So this is the third pass. Apart from this Khardungla, there is one more very important pass. Sometimes you must be watching, sometimes you ignore from where the click is there. You must be watching sometimes Axis Bank's ATM advertisement. When two army personnel are talking about the money, oh money kahan se, paise kahan se nikale? Then second army personnel said, you don't know, there is the ATM. Where is the ATM? In the frozen area, in the snow-covered mountains, there is one ATM of Axis Bank, and that is the Changla actually. That is truly copied Changla. You must be knowing Pangong Lake.
Yes.
The lake, most of the Hindi movies are, क्या नाम है? Idiots. Like this is, suppose this is this side is this. It is partly in China and partly in India. this side this river is. This name of this lake is Pangong Lake. Though it's a saline water lake, like desert as usual. Like in desert, जैसा है desert में जो मिलेगा वही मिलेगा. So it is like in India, in Rajasthan, you have series of lakes. Pachbhadra Lake, Digana Lake, Didwana Lake, Loonkarantsar Lake, Sambar Lake. All these lakes are the saline lakes. So this is so one route. When we cross this route and to reach to this Pangong Lake, we cross one pass here. This is very important pass. The name of this pass is called Changla Pass. C-H-A-N-G. Changla. The Axis Bank experience I am sharing. This is Changla. Always on these passes temperature remains below 0 degree. So it's always frozen, -5, -10, -15, -20 also sometimes. And they are on the high altitude. So fast blowing snow laden blizzards always used to blow with very high intensity. So difficult to sustain. But Indian Army personnel are always standing over there. हम वहाँ टूरिस्ट जाते हैं, 10 मिनट रुकते हैं, देखते हैं नज़ारे और घबरा के आ जाते हैं. So and their life is adventure all the time for them. So this is Changla. So Changla and Khardungla, they are located in which mountain range? Ladakh range. And Borjil and Jozila are located in Greater Himalaya. And there is a tunnel, name of the tunnel crossing the Pir Panjal. We are planning, Udhampur is a dune, Udhampur dune, Katra dune, Katra is the dune, Udhampur is the dune. And we are constructing a railway line up to this Srinagar. यहाँ से यहाँ तक रेलवे लाइन बन गई है, यहाँ तक रामबन तक, एंड यहाँ तक भी रेलवे लाइन बन गई है जम्मू से. But we are constructing this small track because difficult to cross the Pir Panjal, and this rock is very soft. Mountain is composed of very soft sedimentary rocks, brittle, basically shale and limestone, and they break very quickly. जैसे ही blasting करते हैं पूरा rock गिर जाता है. So difficult to construct this. Once it is, we are projecting कि भाई अगर ये ट्रेन यहाँ तक चली जाए, दिल्ली तक आ जाए, so economy of this area will get a different kind of boost. People, youth of Srinagar and this entire valley area are joining the terrorists because of unemployment. Once they have the connectivity to the rest of the country, they will align themselves with the economy of the country. They will get job. Half of the year this area is always dissected from rest of the country. So once we have the railway track, that's why this railway track is strategically very important for me. People, this is called Pir Panjal railway track. And when sometimes magics used to happen, and once I was in Udhampur area, and one Mi-6 helicopter, you must be knowing, most strongest helicopter, Russian helicopter. जब ये रेलवे लाइन बनी तो इसकी बुग्गी को उठाया MI ने, and it was hanging in the air, and they picked from here, यहाँ से उठाया पीर पंजाल के ऊपर से, they picked and installed on this track. So sometimes, and I am the witness of this story, how the railway, such a big bogie was picked up by Mi-6 and installed on the other side, because there is no route. यहाँ तो जा ही नहीं सकती इतनी बड़ी बुग्गी, रोड से तो जा ही नहीं सकती, road is very small and narrow and very tough. So it is there. So these are the some of the 4 important passes. I took a lot of time, but quickly I'll give the review of the other passes also, because अभी और भी बहुत सारा हमें आगे करना है. Then come over to Himachal Pradesh. Some important passes of Himachal Pradesh. I'll give you a quick review. Suppose in Himachal Pradesh, this is again the Greater Himalaya. GH means Greater Himalaya. I'm talking about HP. This is J and K. Jammu and Kashmir. This is HP. In Greater Himalaya, there is, beyond Greater Himalaya, there is another range. It is called Jaskar range. And suppose, where is Simla located? On which mountain range? This is Lesser Himalaya. So this is Simla, you can say. While because Simla is in Lesser Himalaya, I said you earlier. While moving Simla to like this, or through another route is through, you can say Mandi. Mandi is here. Mandi is also on Lesser Himalaya. So from Mandi or from Simla, if we cross the Greater Himalaya, then we go to Leh city. This is, we have another alternate route. One route going to through land, one route is from Srinagar to Leh. It's very tough route, very tough terrain, landslides, avalanches, snowfall. So it is always disrupted by the climatic and topographical adversaries. So we are constructing another road from Mandi to Greater Himalaya. This is Manali here. कोई गया है मनाली? Is there anyone from this class have been to Manali? No. Okay, leave it. Manali is a valley here. Manali, Mandi is there. Manali is here. From Manali we cross the Greater Himalaya. We climb up, and this pass is called Rohtang Pass. Rohtang Pass. And beyond Rohtang, again we cross the Jaskar range. And while crossing the Jaskar range, there is a pass called Baralachala Pass. Baralachala. And then we go to the Leh city. From Mandi to Manali to Rohtang Pass to Baralachala. And once we cross the Rohtang, we have a headquarter, the largest district, third largest district of India. This is where the Kelong is located. What is the name of this district here? Lahol Spiti. Laholi is a tribe. Laholi people are the tribe. Spiti are also, it's also a tribe. Spiti is a river also. So, Kelong, Keylong. The entire population of Kelong is say few thousand people, 2,000-3,000 people are living over there in the city permanently. So this goes to, so Rohtang Pass and the Baralachala Pass. Then another very important pass of international significance, because this is the Satluj River also. So this is one pass here. Don't forget this name. This pass has political and geopolitical significance of India, because we have two land routes open with China for trade activities through land route, through the road connectivity. One in Himachal Pradesh, this is Sipkila. This is just parallel to Satluj River. Satluj River originated from Tibetan Plateau and crossed the Greater Himalaya, and very close to Simla, close to Mandi, it goes like this, make the Bhakra Dam over it. So this pass is called Sipkila Pass. Sipkila. So this is historical route projected. It is the route of one of the offshoot of the ancient Silk Route. You know, historically ancient Silk Route in East Asia, from China to Central Asia, or you can say from Beijing to all the way up to Kasgar, and Kasgar it goes over the going up to Samarkand, Bukhara, Taskand, Ashkabad, up to Ashkabad in Turkmenistan. So that was the one old Silk Route. But one offshoot of the Silk Route was also coming to India, and that offshoot was coming to India. Suppose this is the old Silk Route, it was going like this. One branch was coming to India through this route. So most of the traders in India, maybe either the Fayan or Huansang, they must have crossed the Himalaya either this route, or there is one in Sikkim. So there is this is on old Silk Route. So it was the trade route with China. So this pass is important and it is open now, and this road is there from Simla to Rampur to, it goes to Tibet. It is known as Indo-Tibetan International Highway. This is parallel to Satluj River, and this is Sipkila Pass. So there is the one custom office of Government of India, so to check the entry and the exit of the traders. So trucks used to pass over. So most of the Indian products used to go to China, and from China also products used to come to India also through this route. So these are the three passes: Baralachala, Rohtang, and the Sipkila. Their significance. And quickly, let me give you Uttarakhand also. Must not forget Sipkila. It is coinciding with the Satluj River. In Uttarakhand, suppose this is the Greater Himalaya, this is the Lesser Himalaya, you can say Greater Himalaya, GH, and this is LH. Western part of Uttarakhand is basically Garhwal region. Garhwali is a different culture, and eastern part of Uttarakhand is known as Kumaon region. Kumayuni and Garhwali, these are the two different languages with different food habit, different attire, different lifestyle, different cropping system, different occupation. So they used to say we are Garhwali, we are Kumaon. So Nainital region is Kumaon region, Garhwal region, Dehradun and Uttarkasi region is Garhwal region. Okay, while crossing the Greater Himalaya, we enter to the Tibetan region, Tibetan plateau. So suppose this is the Nainital. And this is, you can say, here we have the Nepal. We have one pass here, one pass here, one pass here, and one pass here. We have four passes. So from Nainital, we move from this region and go here. This is the Lake Mansarovar. So there is one mountain, Mount Kailash is there. This is called Lipu Lake Pass. I tracked, here there is a place called Dharchula in the valley. The height of Dharchula is only 900 meters from sea level, mean sea level. And you can find the interior of the Himalayas. This is you can say Shivalik here. Near Haldwani we cross the Shivaliks. We enter to Kumaon, Nainital in Lesser Himalaya. Then we decrease the height over here. So it is Dharchula. Dharchula is very important location on Nepal border. It is exactly on Nepal border, not here. Nepal border is up to here. This is on Nepal. We cross the Nepal. There is a river called Kali River. There is a river Kali that makes the border between India and Nepal. And there is a bridge here, hanging bridge. So we may cross over to Nepal. We may purchase our daily items on little lower price, cheaper price, because there we have the taxation benefits in Nepal. We may come back. So we have the different paramilitary police for different regions. For Tibetan border we have ITBP, and for Nepal border SSB stands for
Seema Suraksha, Sashastra Seema Bal.
Okay, now and the BSF. So these are the different paramilitary forces. So SSB is there, so you may cross. I tracked not by vehicle. I tracked from Dharchula all the way 5 kilometers, 6 kilometers a day, and reach up to Mansarovar in 15 days, and I came back. It took 15 days to reach back to Dharsula. So I crossed Greater Himalaya through Lipu Lake Pass. So there